Internet entrepreneur. You want to create content to achieve marketing goals, and you're just basically not creating content for the sake of having more stuff in your blog, right? There's a certain conversion goal that you ultimately want to happen. We're going to talk about 4 ways to create content that's aligned with your brand so you attract relevant people who will do relevant things for you. At the same time, by following these tips, you will end up creating content that will frankly not waste people's time, because if they're not the right people to be there, they'll just be sending Google signals that whenever people land on your website, they don't tend to like it. So how do you produce content that's aligned to your brand's identity and goals? Number 1, you want to review what you stand for. That includes your strategy, your mission, your vision, and your values. This is all about always understanding the high level positioning of your branding so you can align that with every piece of content that you end up creating. So whatever your big picture vision is, it is translated down to the very specific content that you end up creating. Number 2, you want to review your audience. By understanding your personas and maybe have multiple audience avatars, you're going to be in the position to produce content that fits their hopes and dreams. Number 3, you want to identify similar brands. For example, you're selling athletic training, and this is, for example, training for triathletes. You want to look at brands that they admire. Maybe they admire Nike and Under Armour, and you're not necessarily competing against this big brand, but look at this big brand and see what they tend to say, what videos they tend to produce, what articles they tend to create, what instructional material they tend to share. And then you can emulate those brands and then share your own take regarding that topic, because you know that that type of content resonates with the audience. Interestingly, you don't always have to start a conversation that's super related to the thing that you're selling. One example is, I often hear Gary Vee sharing this example of, if you're selling enterprise solutions and those enterprise buyers tend to love fishing, then you can talk to them, hang out with them, and start the conversation with fishing, and then later on transition the conversation about your product. The point here is opening conversations and building rapport, whether or not those topics are super related to your brand. Just be artful about it. Select topics that are compatible with your values. It's basically talking to people. You might have a group of friends that all enjoy a certain type of movies or music, or maybe you have a business mastermind, but you can also talk about other things as well outside of that very specific topic. So the key here is to look at brands and see what they tend to talk about, whether or not those specific topics are super connected to your specific product. Finally, you want to answer questions that your target persona tends to ask. If they're on specific groups on Reddit, if they are on asking a specific about a specific topic on Quora, look at those questions and find patterns and create content that answers, that addresses those questions that your personas tend to ask. Now, by following these 4 tips, you will end up producing content that attracts the right type of traffic, and when that type of person lands on your website, they're going to be more likely to sign up and more likely to continue with a transaction. This is Alan from NorthStories.io, and keep up over here for more advice on content marketing.